I want to go through what I believe are 7 quick things that you need to pivot and succeed. Right to the point here, guys. Number 1, and this is obvious, but you got to be hungry. You got to really want more, not dabble, not think that there's anything out there that's a magical money machine. I mean, how many of you tried to maybe buy a coin, this whole crypto thing and hope that would do it, or you try to game the stock market, or maybe I should just buy this store, this online store, and set it and forget it, not look at it, it'll bring me money. Has anybody ever bought anything, put the money there, done no work, and the cash just keeps coming in? No, we have to realize we have to gain the knowledge from people who've already been there, and then we got to take the uncomfortable action and actually move forward. There is no such thing as a magical money machine, so what does that mean? We have to be hungry. We got to be hungry. But aren't you going to, listen, let me just ask you something. Aren't you going to live the next 3, 5, 10 years anyway? And aren't you going to have to do something? And aren't you going to hit obstacles? And isn't stuff going to go wrong anyway? So if it's going to do that anyway, why not do something that you could serve others, impact the world, unlock what's in your world, help people go faster, impact lives, and create success? But to do anything in life, you got to be hungry. Who's hungry? Like hungry to tap into your full potential, hungry not to live life status quo, hungry to do more, be more, serve more, make more, right? If that's the case, then you got to hold on to that hunger, right? And to get there, we need new capabilities. That's why you're here. Number 2, and I already kind of said this, but we got to learn from people who've already been there. Listen, in life, let's just say it like it is. We have absolute loved ones. You might live with one who you love dearly and they love you, but when you talk about doing your own thing or going to the next level, they're like, it's not the right time. Oh, that's not an industry for you, or that's too saturated, or that you can't do that, or it's not the right time. Let's just get real. Listen, I have a dear friend, Trent Shelton. I love him to death. If you don't know Trent, awesome guy. Look him up later on. He said, so many times in life we're trying to sell people on our dream. He said, stop selling people on your dream and your goals. God gave it to you. He didn't give it to them. So what I want to share, and remember this, is if you want to go to another level, if you want to get great at tennis, go find a tennis pro who shares, not your Aunt Edna because she watched every tennis match on TV for 10 years. Right? Don't ask your single friend about your relationship. Don't ask your broke friend how to get wealthy. We do that. We take advice from the wrong people. So we must learn from those who've already been there. That is what the self-education industry is. That's why it's exploding. Because people are realizing I can learn through trial and error, or I go back to school for 4 years, or I can just find somebody who's already done it. Learn from those that have already been there, and then evoke the courage muscle. Courage is not moving forward in the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward when you're scared anyway. So we must invoke a courage muscle to take the first step, second step. And remember, the pivots, the shifts are tiny steps at a time. It's not a complete 180. And that's what you're going to see today on how you enter this. Number 3, so number 1 is you got to be hungry. Number 2, you want to learn from the right people. You got to move forward. Number 3, I thought was really important, is you must make sure that you're shifting into an industry or a business that's on its way up. That's a catapult. That's a wave. Think about this. The self-education industry. You see it online. You're already probably bought courses, trainings, workshops, books, things online that gave you knowledge to allow you to go faster, quicker. Whether it was your health or revenue or relationships, right? I was going to show my age. We don't want to pivot into Blockbuster when there's Netflix. We don't want to pivot into a taxi cab business when there's Uber. I know that sounds obvious on the big side, but you must make sure you're in an industry that's like a wave, that you're in front of the wave on where things are going, not where they used to be. Does that make sense? Now, let me just give you a couple little stats on the knowledge industry, the self-education industry. Forbes says it'll be $1 billion a day industry by 2025. And they predicted that before the pandemic. It is exponentially growing faster because people are realizing they're at home, they want to learn from home, be from home, and do it. And you got a whole generation like my kids that don't do anything except learn from online. Is that true? This is a wave. Now, do you ever see surfers? I say this all the time. Do you ever see surfers? I love when I go to California with my kids and I can look out the window and I can see everybody's surfing. Do you ever see when a wave's coming? Some of the surfers jump right away and they go and they get in front of that wave, and what's it do? It pushes them all the way into the shore, right? But some surfers are like, is this the wave? Should I get this one? I don't know, it could be a big one. You know, I think I'll go. And by the time they go, it's past them. Do you ever see a surfer try to catch a wave that they missed? They're paddling. It doesn't matter how fast you paddle, you missed it. The self-education industry, it's a revolution. It is that wave. We are at the beginning of it. It is such an amazing time to explore, to learn more about it. Ask the questions, watch the speakers and say, oh my God, how do I get in front of this wave? Because here's the cool part. 20 years ago when I started, 25 years ago, when Tony started 40 years ago, there wasn't access online to people through social media, through platforms where your knowledge could be put up for sale in literally a day. Compared to when I started, I had to film an infomercial and buy TV time and produce books and put them in the warehouse and get someone to ship it and take a phone call. Oh my God, it was insanity. I had $250,000 in that I borrowed before I even got started. So the world has shifted. This is the absolute perfect storm to be a part of it. So know that regular people, everyday people are the ones fueling this industry. So the knowledge industry is now. You are completely qualified, and then you got to make sure that other people like you, this is number 5, other people like you are having good experiences, are having success. And I have to tell you, it's been the most rewarding thing in my life. Tony and I decided 3 years ago that it was time to help make self-education the new norm, to pull back the curtain on our 60 plus years combined between the two of us. And I have to tell you, we've watched every single type of human from 150 plus countries in 4,700 different categories and little niches share what they know to help impact others, to allow other people to go faster. Let me just ask you this. What would it be worth to you if you could spend a week preparing? You had 1 week to prepare and you could pick one topic and you were going to have a whole day to spend with your 20-year-old self. You could pick a topic on love, like you deserve more. Don't just settle. Discover who you are. Or maybe on your career and income. Like, don't just follow the teachers, follow your parents and get that job. No, it doesn't fill your heart. This is what you're going to do. Or maybe it's on your health, so you could reinvent the way you eat, the way you exercise. If you had to pick one, and you had a whole week to prepare, and you got to go and sit down with your 20-year-old self and say, when it comes to making money, this is when it comes to your health, when it comes to love, this is what you deserve. What would that be worth to you? Right? I know the priceless, right? It's always priceless or millions, right? Here's the thing you got to realize. What the world is realizing is there are a bunch of people out there, potentially millions, that you could be in contact with socially through the World Wide Web, right? Through social media, through contact, that are like your 20-year-old self, that want your experience. They're starting off day one in an experience. Maybe you went through a divorce and did it elegantly. Maybe you found your heart and soul again after you lost yourself for being a mom. Maybe you went through menopause elegantly. You know how to take pictures beautifully. You know how to paint, do art, play music, play the piano, or you know how to help people with sales or marketing or being good at their job. There is something that you've gone through. It's a passion, it's a mess, it's an experience. I promise you, someone is starting off on day one today, and they're not looking to go back to college, and they're not looking to learn through their own trial and error. They're looking to figure it out from you. I believe, Tony believes, you should be obligated to extract what you know to allow other people to go faster, because they are standing on one side of a valley going, how the hell am I going to figure this out? And you can provide the bridge because you've already experienced it. Now, do you need to know how to do it? Of course. Is there a process? Absolutely, and that's why you're here today. It can be the beginning of a new you. So that's the fourth and fifth one, right? The sixth one, and this is really important. This is what I'm going to ask you to open your mind to, is we have to shift our beliefs. We got to shift our beliefs. Listen, without seeming crazy, maybe it's just me, maybe I am a little crazy, but do we all have two voices that live inside of us? Do you ever have the voice like you think about doing something new, and one voice is like, we can't do this. You're an imposter. How does that get done? Where would we do it? Where would we start? Technology's for young people. Older people do it. People with money do it. People with a supportive husband do it. People that live in a different area do it. Like, that voice is like, let's just stay where we are. We're safe. And then you have the other voice that goes, we got this shit. We can do anything we put our mind to. I'm a mom of 4 and I carry a job and take care of my husband like he's a 5th child. Like I can do anything I want. I'm empowered. Nothing can stop me. God designed me for more. Do we have both of those voices? Can we be honest? Which one are you listening to? Because the first voice, I can promise you with all of me, has already cost you opportunity. Can we agree that a belief or that inner voice has already stopped you? You said you were going to do it, and you're like, oh, and then that self-doubt got strong enough. It's cumulative. I got it, maybe, and all of a sudden there's a little hair, a little straw that drops, like, oh no, I'll just resort back to who I was. Do you want to be the person you are today in 5 years from now, or do you want to be the next generation of you? The only way to get from where we are to where we go is we must bust those beliefs. When it comes to an industry like this, you'll think of, well, I don't have a huge following. I'm not Tony Robbins. I'm not Dean Graziosi or Chalene Johnson or Jenna Kutcher or some of the amazing guests we have today. It's all a story. It's all a story because all successful people shift their beliefs to say, I can do anything in my power. Anything I decide to do, I can do. I can learn from people who've already been there, and when I get stuck, I'll be resourceful as hell and continue to move forward. People that shift their beliefs do not take no. No is an answer for people that just... they resort back. Now, I'm not saying you don't have obstacles in your way. We all do. Yours might be completely different than mine and bigger. You see some of these people on camera doing amazing, selling what they know, having amazing lives, and you're like, but they probably didn't. Today, you're going to realize they had the same obstacles as all of us. But what did they do? Number 6, they shifted their beliefs. So be open-minded today. Don't let your old beliefs like, we can't do this, you're not that, BS. It's already cost you too much. It's time to be empowered. So today is a perfect mix of shifting your belief, gaining capabilities, seeing where the world is going, getting little techniques and saying, I'm in. Who's feeling this? Who's ready for this today? Okay, then there's one last one. I got to share this with you. I was going to share a story of a pivot. I'll share my pivot story later. But number 7, and don't worry about the numbers. I'm kind of just rambling off. I might be on 6. You never know. Number 7, I want you to ask yourself these 2 questions before we start this day. What's the best possible outcome if you do pivot, if you do shift, if you gain new capabilities, if you change your beliefs? If you learn from people who've already been there, if you say, I'm all in, if you take courageous, uncomfortable action to move forward, what is the best possible outcome in a year from now or 5? Could you have more freedom? Could you have more control of your time? Generating more revenue for you and your family? Doing things from home, serving people, doing what you were called to do? Working on your health, working on your relationship because you have more time for you, finding self-love, not being on the hamster wheel. I don't know what it is for you. We all have different things. For me, I'm driven every day because I love being the dad I am. When my kids are in school, every day at 3 o'clock since they were babies, I'm outside. I pick my kids up every single day. There's no one ever going to take that from me. And if I have to pivot, if I have to take uncomfortable action to be able to be there for the kids, to be the husband I need to be for my amazing wife, to have the freedom to make the choices, to raise my kids the way I want, to live where I want, to take them on trips when I want, to wear a gray t-shirt every single day of my life, if I want to do that, I am going to do that. And if I have to pivot, if I have to be uncomfortable, if I have to be courageous, if I have to take new action, if I have to shift beliefs, the beliefs that got you out of Egypt are not the beliefs that'll take you to the promised land. So if I have to do that, I will do that every single day because no one's going to tell me I can't pick up my kids. No one's going to tell me I can't jump on a plane and fly back to New York like I'm doing on Monday to take my kids to the home I was born in and take them on a little tour of where I worked and the garage I worked out of and where I lived in a bathroom with my dad. I'm doing that Monday because I want to. No one will take that from me. I don't know what yours is. We all got our own. But that drives me every single day. When people tell me I can't, when the world says no, when things go wrong, you know what that just means? Oh, so God, okay, I got a few extra obstacles. Let me have it, because no one's taking this away from me. And if I could give that to you today and show you what's possible from a kid that barely got out of high school, who had dyslexia, whose parents were married 9 times, who lived in a bathroom when I was a kid. I did not come from royalty. I didn't come from middle class. And I'm not highly educated. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. But I found this industry. I learned from the best, and I work at it every day, and I'm so glad to have you guys with me. This is the one no one asks themselves. It's great to think I pivot, I shift, I get something new, I go, yes. But what if you don't shift? What if you don't pivot? What if you don't do something new? I don't think you're not going to die. But where will your life be in 1 year from today? How about 5? What if you do absolutely nothing? What kind of emotions do you think you'll have over the next 5 years if you just try to hover? Because if you're not climbing, you're sliding. If you're not growing, you're dying. That's just a fact in life and in business. So what kind of emotions do you think you have? You think you'd feel maybe left behind, or you missed out, or you were called for more and you're not utilizing it? Maybe envy a little bit of other people getting ahead or other people who have freedom. You get to hear my story, and instead of going, damn, I'm getting what Dean's got and what others have, I'm getting it. Rather, you might look at it and go, screw you, Dean. You get to pick up your kids. I want to pick up my kids, asshole. Excuse my language. Right? I know that feeling. Right? It's like natural for some of us. Like instead of being inspired by somebody moving forward, you're pissed that they're going and you're not. It's a terrible feeling. So ask yourself, what is the outcome if I don't pivot? And most people don't ask themselves that tough question, and I do on a regular basis. And when I do, when I can look, if I shift, if I pivot, if I learn new capabilities, shift my belief, go forward, this is where I could be. And I paint that picture and I sell myself on that picture every single day. That's not a joke. People always ask me, why do you have so much enthusiasm, energy? Because I love what I do, and I know if I do it well and do it better, I continue to impact lives like you guys, and I continue to be the husband and the father and the leader and the mentor and the friend I am. But I also look, what if I get lazy? What if I don't gain new capabilities? What if I let old limiting beliefs come back in? What if I let that inner villain, that inner ugliness, that inner self-doubt run my life? I could lose it all. Yeah, listen, there is no guarantees in any of this. You see people wealthy and it's gone overnight for some reason. I believe their beliefs shifted. I believe they didn't innovate. They didn't see where things were going. They got comfortable. They thought they could just hover. There's no hovering. So ask yourself both those questions. What's up, what's up? Hey, don't forget to look at the action steps we've posted below. They are the perfect way to take your success, abundance in this crazy world to a whole nother level.